When King Bucht-Nasser, Nebuchadnezzar, destroyed Jerusalem, demolished its places of worship, and massacred the children of Israel, the entire land became desolate. Sometime after this devastation, Prophet Uzziah (AS) passed by that ruined area. He carried with him a bowl of dates and a cup of grape juice, and he was riding on a donkey. As he toured the city, he saw that it had become complete ruins. No human being remained. Seeing this scene, he said with amazement, "How will Allah bring this town back to life after its death?" Then he tied his donkey and lay down to rest. During this state, his soul was taken, and his donkey also died. It was morning time. 100 years later, Jerusalem remained in ruins for 100 years. Then Allah granted dominance to a king from among the kings of Persia. He came with his army and rebuilt Jerusalem even better than before. The few Israelites who had survived also returned and began settling around the city, and their numbers increased. Throughout these 100 years, Allah kept Prophet Uzziah (AS) concealed from the eyes of the people. No one could see him. When the full 100 years were completed, Allah brought him back to life. First, life returned to his eyes, though his body was still motionless. Then gradually, his entire body came back to life. This happened in the evening, close to sunset. Allah asked him, "How long did you remain here?" Prophet Uzziah (AS) replied by estimation, "A day, or part of a day." He thought it was the same day's evening in which he had lain down that morning. Allah said, "No, you have remained here for 100 years. Look at your food and your drink." He saw that the dates and grape juice were perfectly fresh. There was not even the slightest change or smell. Then Allah said, "And look at your donkey." He looked and saw that the donkey had completely decayed, its body parts scattered, and only the white bones remained. Right before his eyes, the bones gathered, the joints came together, flesh formed, skin covered it, hair appeared, and finally a soul was breathed into it. The donkey immediately stood up and brayed. Seeing this miracle, Prophet Uzziah (AS) said, "I know that Allah has power over everything, but now this knowledge has become certainty before my very eyes." He returned to his neighborhood. By now his beard and hair had become white, even though he was only 40 years old, so no one recognized him. Near his home, he found a weak, blind old woman who used to be his maidservant. He asked her, "Is this the house of Uzziah?" She replied, "Yes, but Uzziah disappeared 100 years ago." She said this and began to weep. Prophet Uzziah (AS) said, "I am Uzziah." Shocked, she said, "How can that be?" He said, "Allah kept me in the state of death for 100 years, then brought me back to life." The old woman said, "Uzziah was the one whose supplications were always accepted. Pray for me so that my eyesight returns, and I may recognize you myself." He prayed, and at once her eyes regained sight. Then he said, "Stand by the command of Allah." Her paralyzed legs were also healed. She looked at him and recognized him immediately. She took Prophet Uzziah (AS) to a gathering of the Israelites. There, his sons, now 118 years old, and his grandchildren, who were themselves elderly, were present. The old woman announced, "This is Prophet Uzziah (AS) himself." People denied her claim, so she said, "Look at me, he prayed for me, and I was cured." Uzziah's son said, "My father had a black mole between his shoulders." When they looked, they found the same mark. At that time, no complete copy of the Torah remained. Every written part had been lost. Prophet Uzziah (AS) recited the entire Torah from memory. A man said, "My grandfather had buried a copy of the Torah during the persecution of Bucht-Nasser. I know where it is." They dug it out. When it was compared with what Prophet Uzziah recited, not even a single letter differed. This story teaches us that when human understanding reaches its limit, the power of Allah begins. and the heart that seeks truth sincerely is shown the shining signs of God, even in the darkest ruins.